Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm sending you a nice warm embrace and a loving hug. And I thank you for joining us this morning again as we anchor in the vibration and the consciousness of love. A pure conscious love which heals all. And where true creation comes from, but of course, every thought is a creation. So when we expand the space of pure conscious love, we're creating a space, we're creating an opportunity to raise the vibration and frequency of the entire planet and of each individual being. And you and I and others join together every day to do this, all across the globe. It's a slow gathering, but it's an ever-increasing gathering. And the consciousness awareness leads the vibration. And right now, there's a restriction of the dense energy. The dense energies, feels a little tighter, feels a little restrictor. It doesn't want to leave the vibration, and the people who are holding that vibration are dedicated to this vibration at this moment. That doesn't mean we're not shifting vibration, and that doesn't mean you won't have vibrational flux within your day and have different frequencies. And there's incoming frequencies into the planet through Great Solar Sun and through Source. But hello, hello Rupert. Yes, we are holding, and he reminds me we are holding hands. What I do is I look across the globe every single morning. I check out the energy, I check out the consciousness, I check out the quotient of love. And the image that I always see is like around the equator. I see all cultures, all people, all beings holding hands. When I first started looking a few years ago, it was like Stretch Armstrong. The arms are very far apart. The hands are very far apart. People had to really stretch to hold on to each other. Now there's a lot more people within that circle. And every day there's more people joining that circle. So not only do we join heart to heart, we join hand to hand. And that's what we do. And if you're joining me again, thank you. If you're coming in for the first time, I welcome you and I thank you. And what we do is we connect and just take a nice deep breath. And you may be used to a meditation being silent. Mine are sometimes silent and sometimes I talk through them. I'm led by spirit as to what's best. I let my highest self talk and I listen to the group that's joining, whether it's in lifetime or later. And that's how I proceed. And hi Pam. And I'm wearing a shirt from Pam, but I can't show it, so I have to show it. Maybe at the end I'll stand up and show it. But what we do is we connect our energies, right? Without intrusion. We just connect lovingly and consciously our intention. So set the intention that we are creating a space outside of collective consciousness. It's like a holding platform for others to join us as we learn to expand the vibration and frequency and hold the frequency. The consciousness is the awareness of our thoughts and our intentions. The consciousness is to see all things with love and compassion, to start to see all of the story and not part of it. The intention is to create. And creation always comes from thought. So just be really aware of your thoughts and your feelings. And what you may be experiencing, and I've noticed it this week especially, but last couple weeks, is people having gifts, triggers coming into their lives. With people they know or don't know, often somebody you live with or somebody you have a close relationship through work or friendship. that will challenge your old beliefs, challenge your old patterns. And it may seem they're being intentionally mean or cruel or obtuse or dense or apathetic. What they're actually doing is inviting you to look at yourself and to see where you still hold thoughts of unworthiness or unloving or judgment or criticism. And the old habit may be to react to them or blame them or get mad at them. And that's okay. But if you notice yourself doing that, just take a pause and just, is that illusion still, does that still hold true for me? Have a choice in my beliefs. I'm much more aware now. I'm aware of what I'm thinking. I'm aware of where events in my life have led me to believe one thing or another about myself or another person. So you may be noticing that. If you are, I just encourage you and support you and trusting yourself, believing yourself, and going to a space of self-love, self-nurturing, and self-worth. And if you're not experiencing that, then you're one of the people that are holding space for us to join you. And I thank you for that. So let's take a nice deep breath, and I can hear that. Whenever it takes a few minutes to connect everybody that will be joining in, whether it's live or in person. And I'm not always on at the exact same time, so sometimes we have people live and sometimes we don't, but there's always a moment where I can hear where everybody's joined. And we just touch that moment. And we join our circle to other circles around the globe, others' intention. So take a nice deep breath. And just let your heart expand. And I may not mention it every time, but every time we go into this space, it's like as beloved, what's it saying? As above is below. So the cosmic and the galactic beings that are here to help and assist us, they extend their love and compassion and joy and delight in our experience and their encouragement to us and those on the ground. And more animals are expanding their consciousness. Not all, just like not all people are at the moment. Birds are joining in too. Circle includes all. And imagine what we're creating is like the sun. So we're, these circles of intention, these circles of love that are across the globe. You can maybe think of that as the core of the sun. Very, very intense. And then there's solar flares that go out, or there's sun rays that go out. And it may be a million miles away or 1,000 light years away or whatever the science is, I don't know. But you feel it. The sun may be shining on the northern hemisphere, and if you're living on the southern hemisphere, you may have less intensity. Again, I know I may be explaining this wrong, but I think you can follow me. May have less intensity. If you're in the winter months, the sun's less intensity, but you're still receiving the rays. In the summer, it's more intense, but you're still receiving the rays. There's no separation between us and the sun. So for those who are very intentional and understand what we're doing, understand our thoughts, create our reality, have the intention of creating from love and being in a space of love as often as we can. You could say feel the sun's intensity better. But those who maybe aren't aware of their thoughts and are in a place of self-love and love and compassion for all, they're still receiving the energetic frequency. They're still receiving the sun's rays. They're still receiving the rays of the sun. And there's actually cosmic rays, there's blue rays and colors rays. There's all things that are here to help and assist us. Hope that makes sense. And again, there's people like you and I who think of things through energy and spirituality and spirit and source and, energy and frequency. There's others who don't. They don't use this language, but they're doing the same thing. They're increasing their vibration frequency, or they're able to hold a higher vibration frequency, and they're in a space of conscious love. We just may use different languages and different ways of expressing ourselves, but we're doing the same thing. And I've been hearing from people too that they you may notice your body moving a little bit. You may notice some physical movement or chills or hot or cold or hearing or seeing things. You may have no physical reaction. Neither one's better than the other. You're participating, you're receiving, and there's you can't do this wrong. You can't embody and share love wrong. In this moment, because it was always present, the angelic realm is here. And they're encouraging you to hear today, to really listen to yourself and listen to others. And perhaps just don't listen to the words, but listen to the emotion that's present or the emotion that's not present. And you're doing this for yourself and for others, but also listen to all of life, indoors and outdoors. And then decide what's best for you. And is it, maybe, they're suggesting maybe it might be best to have some silence within your day or stillness. And what they're sharing with me now is it sounds like all violin music. And normally when I hear music, I hear a lot of instruments. I hear a lot of different octaves and different tones. And today it's just pure violin music. And what I'm hearing that means is to really have choose a singular focus perhaps. And you get to decide what that is, but have a singular focus of committed attention to yourself. Committed attention to yourself with love, support, and nurturing. And see how you interact with yourself and how you interact with others. This may be something you already do. Maybe it's something you're really practiced at, or it's something, maybe it's in a thought, or something you're just wherever you are in this experience. But I'm hearing today, because all the realms are always with us. And sometimes one steps forward and has something to say. And today it's the angelic realm. And they want to help lift the cheesecloth. And to me it looks like a cheesecloth. It's the illusion of ourselves. The illusion that somehow, one, we're not heard or seen. And that may be true in moments of your life, but you're always seen and heard. by your highest self and by source and loving beings that surround us on and off the planet. There's a blue-violet ray coming in. Will help you. You can just accept it. Nice, take a nice big, just yes, bring it in. And this blue-violet ray, which is an intenser color, more pure, it's actually a more pure color than over about the last 18 months or so. Some of the can't say it looked muddy before, but it just looks clearer now over the last 18 months. But it's going to like just ask it to come in and wash over you, and it just takes away the distortion of yourself. You may feel yourself getting hot or warm, or you may feel nothing. And I'm going to assume that most of us don't greet ourselves in the morning. That most of us don't wake up and say, hello, how are you? I'm glad to be with you, right? That's not something we do. Hopefully we do that when we see each other, but I know there's many times we walk by another person, we don't say hello, even if we're in the same household or in the same workplace. So we're being encouraged and invited to, one, greet ourselves every morning. Set the intention for what we want to experience. And acknowledge those around you. Whether it's a stranger or somebody you work with or live with. We found these old habits of, it's not true for everybody. So if this doesn't resonate with you, you know, that's okay. But maybe it resonates with you or someone you know. That we have sometimes got into a habit of, I don't know if it's apathy or disinterest or you know, I could say it's taken for granted, maybe. Not sure the right word exactly, but I think you know what I'm talking about. As most of you know, I have a granddaughter, and I spend some time with her. And two things we do every day is we wake up and we say, good morning, world. It's nice to be here. I love you. It's going to be a wonderful day. When we get outside, we say hello to the trees and the plants and the bushes, and we just kind of acknowledge nature. And as she's brushing her teeth, or we pick her up, when I pick her up, she looks in the mirror and she says, good morning, beautiful. And she looks herself right in the eye. And I do the same for myself because I want to model that for her. I want to model the delight in myself for her. I want her to know that she hears it in her own voice. That her sense of worth doesn't come from me telling her whether she's beautiful or not, or smart or not, or good or not. You know, whatever we tell through the best of intentions. I want her to hear it in her own voice. And she's 2 now, and it's become a pretty good habit for her. Right? So I want that for you, just as I want it for me. I want all of us to see each other through the eyes of Source, through the eyes of God. So that's your invitation today. is to see yourself through the eyes of love. It doesn't matter when you join us. You're part of the circle. You're part of the intention. You're part of the flow. Anytime you watch this or any other video, expands on what we're doing. And the whole reason well, lots of reasons, but one of the reasons we're doing this is we want to break that vibration, that really, really tense, restrictive vibration, which right now is, it's being, it's like the glue is fear. This vibration is being held together through fear. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of other people, fear of ourselves, just, and it can be extreme fear or just mild uncomfortableness. But that's the main vibration right now. And it increased over the last year, which is okay, because we need things to come to the surface so that we can dissolve it. But let's override that with love. And we're doing that. So again, I hear the violin music. That's just telling us to be really focused on love. To not let distractions get into our day. If they are coming in, just notice them. Just notice it and then refocus. It's always a little hard to end our time together. I promise to keep them short. So it'd be easy to put into your day. The truth is, the connection never ends. Once we create the space, you have to intentionally leave it. So we just keep expanding it. I see you. I love you. I understand you. I'm so grateful for you. And grateful for the shared space we create together. Thank you.